చిన్న జ్ఞాపకం వచ్చింది. కాదు మరి చెయ్యాలా? యాహ్! యాహ్! దేవుడు. Yeah. So you guys previously done with Excel service and what? Excel service and currency conversion service, right? So you are the conversion service, you are the Excel service. Excel service will respond to the currency service so that we got the output like you send the request to the client. But the purpose of API gateway means like you created like 100 microservices. 100 microservices, like, we have 100 IP addresses. Definitely every microservice contains what? IP address, right? Every microservice contains IP address means 100 microservice contains what? 100 IP address. We have the gated community, we have the flat number 401, 402, 403, like that. We have the too many flats of it. Too many what? Flats. So too many flats means every flat you have to, we are not able to put the security and this all like gates, right? That's why you can go for what? Central entry point. So API gateway is the central entry point for the common entry point for what? One request, all request, all request. See, Amazon contains the thousands of microservices, not hundreds of even. So microservice like now Amazon contains the thousands of microservices. Thousands of microservices means you will not share the thousands of IP address to the client. What you will share only one gateway address, that is from what? Amazon.com. Amazon.com is the common gateway for Amazon.com is what? Common entry point for one request, all request, all request. All request you entry from Amazon.com and Amazon.com slash currency conversion, whatever the URL you are sending. From that gate, the request is routing to appropriate flat. Right? From the gate, whatever that you are, the request is routing to the appropriate flat. API gateway is what? Common entry point for one request, all request, all request. All request is comes from what? Gate. So previously done the 8005 and 8006 is the service IP addresses. But today onwards you send the request using service IP addresses or gateway address. Using the gateway address, you have to send the request. Using what address? Gateway address, you have to send the request. See guys, API gateway is a separate microservice. You please handle the separate microservice. You create the separate microservice. Already how many microservices you have? Three. One is the exchange, one is the conversion, one is what? Eureka, right? And one more service you need to create what? API gateway. See, API gateway is a single entry point for what? All client requests in the microservice based system. Every request comes from pass through what? API gateway. Every client request is passed through what? API gateway and it routes the appropriate microservice. We appropriate what? Microservice, right? Exactly. See guys, for the microservice, you need to create the separate microservice. You add the dependency, what the dependency is here? API gateway dependency. The dependency is your API gateway dependency. Number one, you should add the API gateway dependency. Number two, this will becomes the Eureka client. This will becomes what? Eureka client. This becomes the Eureka client means we need to add the one more dependency is what is your Eureka client dependency. So you please create the project with how many dependencies are here total? 2 and 3 dependencies required. One is the web dependencies required. One is what? Eureka client. Because API gateway becomes what? API gateway also should be registered in what? Eureka server. Right? To be registered in what? Eureka server. Total how many dependencies we need to add? 3 dependencies. One is what? One is web, one is the Eureka client, one is the API gateway. See, previously request is directly sent to what microservices. Today onwards what multiple IP addresses are only common gateway IP address. Gateway IP address. Even Excel service and even currency service, the request is sent from what? API gateway address. That's what you can go for the file menu guys. Click on the new. You please create the Spring Starter project and tell me guys what the Starter project is. Is Eureka server API gateway? Just you can write the API and what gateway is there. Just you can write the API gateway service here. Maven project is jar is common. This is like com.satya.api gateway. What Satya that you can write what? You can write the gateway and same package name you can copy paste on what package name you click on what next step. And this is a common entry point, so we require the dependencies activators. So activators, okay, fine. Yeah, activator for what purpose? Matrix and application health checks and this all right. Just we can add dev tools, we can add web, we can add. These are the common dependencies, right? And Eureka client. This becomes a Eureka client. And one more new dependency is what this here? API gateway dependency, right? API gateway dependency. This is what gateway dependency. You search for the gateway dependency, guys. Here we got the gateway like this. Go for what? Gateway dependency. I clicked on the gateway dependency, click on what? Finish. Once if we done the, we got the project. So previously the request is sent from to directly what? Services. Today request sent to services through gateway now. Through gateway we have remember that's it, guys. Okay, this is the gate. This is what? Gateway here. In the gateway, we need to register like all microservices, guys. See, this is a gateway application name, and this is gateway what? Server that port number. Server that what? Port number. Second is one guys, service one route configuration, service two configuration. So here we can go for the service one. Service one is what? ID currency service, and service two ID is what is your currency exchange service. See, spring.cloud.gateway.routes of whatever ID. The routes of zero means first route, right? Not like first service. Routes of zero, first service. These all are first services. These all are what? Second service. So I have those services like multiple services. Go for the routes of zero, routes of one, routes of two, like that one route or multiple routes of multiple routes. See guys, LB means like one request is coming to the gateway now, multiple requests coming to the gateway now. So we need to handle the load balancing, right? So what is load balancing here? What is the load balancing? Load balancing. Load balancing is what? Sending the let me guess distributing what? Network load to the across one service or multiple services, multiple instances, right? One service or multiple instances, multiple instances. That's like this is a application ID means like service name, guys. URI means like load balancing corresponding the data, and predicates means like URLs. Predicates of zero here we have the URLs like API slash v1 slash what that is a currency like that. This is a predicates URL. So total three things here. One is ID means application name. Second is URI means load balance purpose. URI means what? Load balancing. Third one is predicates means what? URLs. Like that, we can give the details for the API gateway, guys. Go for the API gateway. Go for the application or what? Property file. Application or property file. This is application or property file. You please get the port number, guys, for this port. Like again, the port is what? 7777. See, guys, this should be reached in what? Eureka server. Eureka configuration details we can give. What the Eureka server configuration tell me here? One is the Eureka URL. Or the URL here. Because this should be reached with what? Oh, this should be reached with what? Eureka. That's what? Eureka server URL. Because you are connecting in the Eureka server URL. Register with what? Eureka true. You should be registered with what? Eureka and fetch register is also what guys here? True. These are the Eureka properties. After that, we can write the service configuration guys here. Service one routing we need to do and just what? Hey, gateway no need to write the code. Just we need to go for what? Configurations simply. So this is like routes 0, routes 1 and routes what? Routes 0, sorry. Routes 0 contains how many values get total here? 3. One is what? ID, second one is what? URL, third one is what? Predicates. Predicates ultimate URL, right? That service 1 configuration. Like that, you please configure the service 2 configuration also. This is what? Service 2 configuration, and you can leave the service 2 configuration. But you please cross check that. I copy pasted here, but that URLs application we have to check. See guys, conversion service what application we write in here? Currency conversion. Second is what? Currency exchange. You please cross check the properties properly here. Just you can go for the currency service or currency conversion. Currency conversion. Go for the currency conversion, and this is what a currency exchange that is okay. And here also we need to make the currency conversion, currency exchange. Currency conversion is there. This is currency exchange. And URLs also you please path is nothing but URLs guys. You go for the currency conversion. What is the URL we written for the currency conversion? This is a URL, right? So API slash v1 slash currency slash URL. Just you can paste that URL here, right? Just you can write the slash API slash v1 slash currency slash total. Because the first project contains what? That is a URL, right? We have the multiple paths of predicates of 0, path equal, we have written multiple paths. Even currency exchange also, you please give the, you can say here. currency exchange also URL. But the URL you can see this is correct. API slash v1 slash you please go to the service once. Go for the Excel service and go for the data like where is the data here? Excel service. Yeah, control can open. And this is called fragment two. Guys, do you have any API slash v1 slash something like that? No. Okay, fine. Directly can copy this one here from onwards, right? Just you can write the these two required, not required, not required. Just you can write the slash from and what to slash two, right? Right, that's it, guys. Once if you done that work, once if you done that work, once if you done this work, that's all. Wait, just you can create the project, adding how many dependencies? You add the two three dependencies because this becomes what Eureka client, Eureka server, Eureka client, add the client dependency and web dependency is common. Next one is what? API gateway dependency. Next one is what? API gateway dependency and next one. Some dependencies you have, that's fine. Because you please run the project, that's all. So if you run the project here, go for the one project, all services you do run all. You right click all services, select all services and click on what? Start. Once if you click on the start, then all services will start. Hey, that's it, that is the API gateway. The request today goes from what? 8005, 866, 7777. So the request goes from the API gateway. The response comes from what? API gateway. That is a gateway. Go for the API gateway. Yeah, so gateway. Please wait for the services to run. API gateway, currency conversion, currency exchange, and then Eureka server. Yeah. You please open the Eureka server first. When you open the Eureka server, you please cross check how many services should be registered here. Total three should be registered. One is the gateway, one is the currency conversion, one is the currency exchange. So that is like a simple thing. Just you can come down, and you come down. So this is a instances currently registered with what? Eureka. System is not responding. Yeah, so in the serious one, guys, total how size registered total here? 3. One is the gateway registering and what? Currency conversion registering and what? Currency exchange. All are registering properly. Hey, you open the Postman tool, guys. In the Postman tool, we already have the what request sending, right? Request sending using what data? Request sending using what? We have the previously what? This is a URL, right? But the URL previously was sending from the local host 8005 API slash v1 slash currency slash what? Total. So guys, client is sending a request to what service here? Currency service is communicating with what? Excel service. You got the details and you're directly getting the output. This is the previous request. Yes, you please click on what? Send. Because when you click on the send, we got the response like we got the response like this is the response. We got the 105. 105 means maybe you given the body. Check the body, guys. What the body given here? Pound value. Just if you change to USD also, click on what? Send. Once if you click on the send, we got the data is what? USD to 65. Which means like it is working through what? Service to service. But it should work for the service to service gateway. Gateway. It means here it should be like 8005 or 7777. So now if you send the request from what? 7777, like 4 sevens, guys. 4 sevens means what request here? Gateway request through gateway or through what we can say? Service through gateway. So client is sending the request from through the gateway. Gateway is communicating with what? Conversion service. Conversion is communicating with what? Exchange service. You are getting the response, guys. Simply click on what? Send button. Once if you click on the send button, now you got the output is what? This is like you click on what? Send button. Yeah, I clicked on send button. Once if you click on the send button, now see the output, guys. Yeah, we got the output is what? 65. So output guys here 65, right? That is the request, guys. And this request is sending from what data here? 7777. That is what request of API gateway request, right? That's it, guys. So you need to check only the request is going through the what we can say, going through what? Gateway, right? That is API gateway. Yes. All of you, please run the project. Got it right? That's all. Clear? Yeah, the data points. And that is called API gateway. You got the data, you want to change them. Yeah, I didn't click on send button here. Fine, good. Just you can go for what? Pound value. Click on the pound value against pound to INR. Click on what button here? Send button. Also, if you click on the send button, what the URL here? For not for. Data is founding or not founding guys? Not founding. That is the data guys. Now we got the URL is what? API slash v1 slash currency slash. So yes, API slash v1 slash and what? Currency slash. Local API slash v1 slash. Tell me guys. Currency slash total amount. Yeah. Now we got the URL is what? Founder, not founder. Why it is not founding means because see guys here we taken the URL. We taken what URL and here one console is coming, multiple consoles are multiple consoles. Here this is a select. This is what select. This is select. Select. One second. Small property in there. Any error showing up? Check that URL API slash 7777 API slash v1 slash currency slash total amount, right? Amount spelling wrong. But in the computation, we are getting the data, right? Give me a second. And here service registration time. Here also what? AMOU. This one is wrong. That one is also what? Wrong. Wrong plus wrong becomes what? Correct, right? Some the calculation wrong plus wrong becomes what? Correct. And this is called total amount. Total AMOUT. Fine. Just you can go for what? Total A. Total AMOUT. Wait, correct or wrong? Correct, guys. That's fine. Guys, I click on what? This one is like, let me click on the complete works. And also Gmail.ot. Right? Yeah. That's why like no, this is good guys. Service one is configuration, service two configuration. Please save the file once. Let me save. Yeah, because I need to add one annotation guys in API gateway. Go for the SR's main dot gateway dot. The gateway like at the rate enable. We need to enable the API gateway guys. You need to enable what? API gateway. See guys, to enable the API gateway, we require one annotation please check API gateway receiver right API gateway React gateway Spring for other dependencies. Yeah, you better to go for the reactive gateway, guys. Number one mistake we done, and number two is like cross service in this or not right, but they pick it up. Good. Yeah. So we need to go for what? Normal gateway, na? Reactive gateway, na? Reactive gateway. Let me try with the reactive gateway. Can I get the dependency? Na? Can I get the dependency? Start spring IO. Spring IO. Maven. Click on what? Add dependencies. Yeah, you please cross check. This is what? Tell me guys. Reactive gateway. Guys, reactive gateway, if I select, click on what? Explore. Also, if I click on explore, here you can see Spring Boot starter, like yeah, Spring Boot starter, gateway. This is a Spring Boot starter tester. Fine. This is a Reactors tester, and fine. Guys, let me copy this gateway URL. This is a gateway. Spring Boot starter gateway. So reactive is like webhook gateway you will get. Fine, that is a gateway we need to add. And go for what data guys here? Format XML file. In format XML file, we have the previously just we added guys here gateway, right? This is what gateway guys is Spring Cloud Starter. This is what gateway here? FMVC gateway. Let me replace with what? FMVC gateway na Web Flex gateway na Web Flex gateway. Because we added like new version of Spring Boot, right? Almost a 3.5 version we added. So new version of we added means just right click on the project. We need to guys when you touch the dependency like format XML file, what we should do? We need to update the project. Go for the Maven, go for what? Update project. I'm gonna update a force update. Force update, guys. This is a force update. Click on what? Okay. Once we click on the OK, then what? You please restart the only gateway URL once. Meanwhile, you start the gateway. Start what is your gateway. Once if you start the gateway, once if you start the gateway, once if you start what gateway, yeah. Now come to the server request here. Once if we go for the postman, you please click on what? Send. Guys, if you click on the send, if you click on the send, click on the send, click on what? Send, you'll get what? 404 200 expected. So check the output, guys. We got the output like what? 404. 404. Guys, if you please go to the data here. Yeah. There is a data. Go for the data. Oh, response is what? Response is still not coming because the service is what? Loading. You please, okay, fine. Go for what? Click on what? Okay. Once if you click on okay, proceed. It means API gateway is not started. Okay, API gateway we have the error. The previously are trying to add a red symbol here. Just you can remove that at the right click on what start. Once if you right click on the start, then what happened? You got the gateway you want. Why is not doing? MVC phone and class partner. Okay. Okay. Hey, starting you added dependency, right? What dependency you added? Gateway or gateway. Gateway I check the frameworks error. You MVC is found under the class path. What is found? MVC found in the class what? Which is incompatible with what the Spring Cloud gateway. Because you added what? You added what? Okay, you added what? Starting web connection. Where what am web. Web is not supported from the reactive gateway. That web is not supported, guys. That's what you can go for the web flex, web flex. Guys, I'm going for the web flex now. If I change to web flex, now we can click on what start. Starting you added what? Web flex. Web and JSON. Web is not compatible with what? Cloud. That's what we added what? Web flex. Web flex. See guys, once if you add the web flex, I think there is no issue for that. And now see guys, the project is what started. API gateway is what guys started. Now you come to the browser, come to what browser, then you can go for the folder, click on what send. See guys, you have sent a request from what 7777. That is I think the proper 404, that is okay. See guys, now you see the output here. We got what 200. We got what 200. See, why I'm showing this all this because see, initially you add the gateway. You add the gateway means what? When you search for the dependency, gateway means directly gateway will come. You add the gateway, the code is not working. Then we need to add the gateway, React gateway. React gateway we need to understand. But React gateway should not support the MVC web dependency because React gateway is based on what? Cloud. Reactive gateway does not support what dependency? Web dependency. Reactive gateway corresponding dependency is what the web flexor. That's it, guys. You want to get see the code here, double seven and what? Double seven. Double seven is what? What request here? Gateway request, service request, gateway request. Then you can see the font. Sir, you please change the value, sir. Okay, no problem. I'll change. Yes, right? Some yes, right. Click on what? Send. I'm sending with what? 8005 or 7777? Double seven double means service. Okay, fine. USD is there. Now you can see the output 65. Working gateway now, working with direct service, gateway service. Working, I'm working. That's very done. You want me to change one more time? What the dependency we need to add? Huh? That's what. Read the errors properly. Read the errors properly. If I tell directly react to gateway, if you add the gateway, then it is not working. That's what I will do with what all approaches. That's what when you see the error message like cloud is not compatible with the database. How many dependencies we need to add total? Two. One is what? Month. One is what? Reflex. One is what? Huh? Reactive. Last one. That's all, guys. That's it. Today, all of you send a request from what? Direct service or through gate? All of you put the gate. Put the gate and send a request from what? Gate. What is the purpose of API gateway? API gateway is what? API gateway is single entry point for what? All client requests in microservice based system. In microservice based architecture. Every client request pass through what gateway? It routes to the appropriate. It routes to what? Appropriate microservice. Okay, here we don't need to add the web dependency, guys. The Spring Cloud Gateway uses Spring Web Flex. ratio services. Yes, will prepare our Spring prepare better. Spring REST APIs, MVC, microservices. After interview, don't feel that if I prepared, maybe I'll get the job. Don't think like that. Better to prepare and attempt the interview. What is the cost? Cost is massive. What is cost? Cost advantage is what? Mhm. What is cost? Cost. What is the cost? What is the cost? Cost. Your estate permission you are giving to you are giving your estate permission to whom? To the front end people, right? You are giving permission to front end, right? You written the 100 microservices. Every microservices should add the cross origin, right? Adding the 100 microservices cross origin with the gateway cross origin means what? Anyone can access them. Every request comes from what? Gateway. If you give the gateway is a cross origin, cross, then what? Anyone can access anyone can access, right? It means cross origin, like giving the permission every microservice with a gate is good. You open the gate. Once if you open the gate, everyone will come. Cross origin every flat is good, gate is good. That's what cross origin we are doing at gate level. JWT token. Every microservices token required every microservice should have a token based authentication. I need to check you are the valid person or not. 100 microservice means what? 100 times I need to implement JWT token. But 100 times implementing the JWT token is good or not good? Not good. You check with what level? Gate level. Gate level you check the valid person or not once he is already allowed. So every microservice no need to check again key. Once he enter into the gate means what? He is valid person. You always person, right? So gate, JWT token, what? These all can be implemented what? Every microservice good or gate is good? You want at the loggers. Loggers means 100 microservices is there. 100 microservices implement 100 times loggers. Option 1. Option 2. Every input is comes from what? Gate. Every response is goes to the gate. So that we need to loggers implemented what level is good. Every microservice is good. Gate is good. Gate is good. Loggers should be implemented in the gate level. Because in the gate level they maintain the registry. They said loggers. This person is coming with these are the inputs. This person is going with these are the inputs. What are the loggers? Loggers means what is tracking operation, right? Tracking what? Operation. Every microservice tracking operation is good. Gate is good. Gate. The gate what? We need to check who is coming with morning 9 o'clock he come with what? Van of luggage. 10 o'clock he is going with what? Empty van. It means what? Implementing the loggers. Loggers means what? Tracking the operations. Tracking operation at every microservice is good. Gate is good. Gate is good. So gate level what you implemented? Security every microservice good. Gate is good. Security implemented in the gate. Either JWT security, wall security, token based authentication, whatever it may be, that should be implemented at what level? Gate level. Number 1. Number 2 is what? Loggers. Loggers should be implemented at what level, guys? Gate level. Crossers should be implemented at what level? Gate level. Load balance will be implemented at what level? Gate level. Because every request is comes from what? Gate. We need to implement what? Load balancing at gate level. We need to cache the data. The request comes from what? Gate. Response goes to what? Gate. The response is going through the gate. In the gateway level, we need to cache that number. Assume that currency exchange 88 rupees, we cache it. Caching at every microservice is good. Gate is good. Gate is good. Because this microservice cache the value, cache the value, cache the value. Don't maintain. I will maintain what? All the. I will maintain what? All the caching. Caching means what? Caching means what? The 401 flat given the some courier some box. Put in what? Gateway. Put in what? Gateway. Assume that they given some 10 parcels. Who given Microsoft is given 10 parcels. Then what happened? We need to maintain at gate level. We need to cache that value. Cache means what? Maintain that value. Then the new request is coming up. Don't send the 401 flat like that. You don't send every request to what? 400 flat, they are giving the, some biryani packets today. They're distributing free of cost. What they will do? Every request goes to the 401 flat, 400 flat to get the biryani packet. Huh? No. They said what? They give the response. Who has to cache that response? Who has to cache the response? Gate. Gate has to cache the response, guys. Gate has to what? Cache the response. Any request is coming up, don't go to what? 400 flat. Because already the value is what? Cached, right? Already value is what? Cached. So that the client will come to what? Gate and take the value directly. Is there any go to the other that services directly? We need to send any services request? See guys, frequently you are getting the data. 100 clients are requesting the exchange rate. Exchange rate next 1 hour the same value. Next 1 hour the same value means what? Every request sent to the exchange rate, you need to cache that value. Cache that value. When you cache the value means then what is the advantage? Your request is not going to what? Microservices, what the value cached that is distributed to the clients. That is distributed to what? Clients. That is what? Caching. Caching, load balancing, loggers, security, costs, These all are implemented at what level? Gate level. The last question like why the gate? Why the API gateway? Why the API gateway? And we have the concept like now rate limiting. Rate limiting means today my microservice can handle only 100 requests. Microservice can handle what? My project can handle today how many requests? 1 billion requests. When the 2 billions of requests are coming, we need to stop it. We need to stop at what level? Microservice level, gate level, you have to stop. Gate level. The rate limiting also important because these days we don't know. One night they'll becomes more popular. So after few days they'll go out. So no. You know Kacha Badam, the song, no? The Badam Purple, Kacha Badam song. One day it becomes what? So popular. How many requests are coming? Billions of requests. We don't know what happened. That's why we need to put the rate limiting also for the project. Rate limiting we never put, but we need to get the clarity. You know, one girl came like, Bangaram, Mokatippu, Dilu. Some one day she becomes popular. You don't know, dehydration tomorrow she becomes popular. She making like dehydration water, she becomes what? Popular. What Kadapa also becomes popular. Maybe that bike is what? Putting in the wave. Then it becomes what? Popular. Popular means what happened? Number of requests suddenly come to the service. Suddenly we don't know. Entire code is coming to one website, then what happens? Service will crash. Entire data will lost. That's what rate limiting. Rate limiting is what? How many requests you are going to allow? Put the use number. Sometimes when the use number is reached, like we need to what? Stop the request. Rate limiting request. How many requests are allowed per my project? That is called rate limiting. Rate limiting is for every microservice good. Gate is good. Gate is good. So that is a gate, guys. So what the JWT we discussed, what is what we discussed, what loggers we discussed, and what caching we discussed, what about load balance we discussed, everything we put in what? Not every microservice. Every microservice, 1,000 microservices, 1,000 times I need to implement the gas security. 1,000 times I need to write the loggers. 1,000 times I need to write the load balancing. 1,000 times I need to write the rate limiting. 1,000 times I need to write the cost. Is a 1,000 times a gate level. That is the power of what? Gate. That's power of what? Gate. Hey, no sir, I will write the loggers every microservice. And you add it, no problem. No sir, I will write the security every microservice. You write it, no problem. No one will stop you. You write it and you can keep the project with you. Real time we don't want. Options you are given properly. Security is every microservice like gate is put up. Load balancing every microservice put up, gate is put up. Rate limiting every microservice put up, gate is put up. Or what? Gate. That's what gate is what? Gate. Gate is very important. Yeah, then ask the question why we need API gateway in microservices. We need to tell like no API gateway is a single entry point. First one. Every request goes to the API gateway, every response goes to the API gateway. And you'll implement the security API gateway level so that every request is authenticated at gateway level itself. Loggers are implemented at gateway level so that you can understand that you are aware of what? Architecture of microservices. Single entry point. Every request goes to API gateway, every response comes from what? API gateway. In API gateway level, I write authentication code like JW token. I write the API gateway level loggers code. I write what? Rate limiting, load balancing, I'll implement what? Only once at gateway level. So that every request is authenticated at what? Gate level. Like that. We need to talk. We need to talk. That is like why we need what? Gateway. Cars also. Every microservice cars is not good. Gateway cars it. But we need to cars. Gateway. Then what happened? All cars is fault. Why we need gateway in microservice architecture? Single entry point first one. Single entry point means what? Client make the request single entry point, no need to remember the individual microservice IP address and what? Port numbers. Every request goes to API gateway, every request comes from what? API gateway. Handle authentication authorization at entry level using WAP, JWT API keys. Load balancing, distributing the traffic among multiple microservices. Rate limiting. Limit the number of API request for the seconds. For seconds, how many API request? Exceed request or block it. Otherwise, your service will block. The load increase, then what happened here? Calls, guys, you can use the calls at API gate level instead of using what? Every microservice. Loggers implements a centralized logging. Centralized logging means what? Only one time logging at gate level. You track every request. One request coming with van, one request coming with bus, one request coming with small parcel. Every request. Because request means what? Data. We need to track the operations. Every operation we need to track using at what level? Every microservice level, every microservice good, gate is good. Gate is good. What is good, guys? Gate is good. Caching. We need to cache the values. Every microservice we need to cache the value. Gateway is good. See, 100 microservices are maybe every microservice I don't need to cache the value. Assume 10 microservices I want to cache the value means don't implement the caching at 10 microservices. Every microservice I need to write the code, I need to cache your value, cache your value, cache your value, cache your value. Don't cache, you write the caching at what level? Gate level. You cache in the write the caching code at gate level, cache the corresponding values coming from what? Microservices. Coming from what amount? Microservices. Got it done? That's all guys. Write the points out. Why we need API gateway?